13 acres of hell.
Welcome to Pyro Radio. I am Mike Lopez, and I'm here with
Tim Anders.
And welcome to Pyro Radio once again. And this week we will be talking about, as usual, everything metal. So I hope you all enjoyed this week's show. And there won't be a guest this week, so it'll just be me and Tim this week.
Sorry, but nobody wanted to come on the show.
Nobody wanted to come on the show.
They were just too lame.
Yeah, we did have a few people that didn't want to come, but we kind of don't
Too
want...
busy, have families. I mean, really, what is that?
That and... Well, there were a few bands that didn't want to come on here, but I didn't really want any Screamo bands on the show.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
I might have killed them.
Yeah, we both would have. And then I think after so much shit that we'd give them, they'd probably kill themselves. I tell them, not sideways, it's upstream, guys. That's the way to cut yourselves. But yeah, we weren't gonna torture you guys with some emo guys and all that bullshit, because I wasn't gonna help promote them. I'm gonna tell them that you guys gotta push your own load, because This is a real metal show. But yeah, welcome to Pyro Radio, and I'm Mike, and this is Tim, and welcome. But Tim, how has your week been so far?
It's been pretty good. I did some paid photo shoots with some metal bands, and that was a good time all around. How about you?
I've been alright. I've only been doing it just like writing a lot. I actually finally got around to writing my first article for the Offering magazine. It should be up later this week, so if you're on Facebook for us, facebook.com/Pyro Radio, I'll post up a link on there for you guys to check it out, as well as the Offering magazine people on Facebook.
You know what? I did have one other thing happen this week, and I just want to give them a shout out. I'm giving a shout out to the band Epica. I took photos of them, I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and posted it on their Facebook, and they actually thanked me, and I was impressed by that, because most of the time I take photos of these bands and never hear from them.
Oh, that's
pretty cool. They actually sent me a message saying thanks for the photos. So I want to give a shout out to Epica.
Alright, awesome. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear from bands nowadays, but when they do get back to you, it's pretty cool, because they actually make the time for their fans, which is usually only in metal. But yeah, like I was saying though, what was I saying again? Where did it leave off?
I don't know.
What did I do this week again? Right, I wrote my first article for the Offering magazine, not just album reviews like I've been doing normally, but I decided I should start my own article. So check it out later this week. I'll let you guys know when it's up. In the next week's podcast, I'll tell you when it's up and where to check it out. But yeah, keep an eye out for that if you're on the Facebook page for the Offering and the Pyro Radio page. And then other than that, during Black Friday, I actually bought a few games, and I actually been trying to split my time up within all of them, and for some reason I can't get very into any of them for some reason. But yeah, I've been trying to get into my video games that I paid like $30 for each on Black Friday. And other than that, I've been listening to a lot of thrash music this week.
What games did you buy?
I bought some older ones, some newer ones. I bought Dishonored, Fallout New Vegas, because I love Fallout.
I've never played them. I was actually told they're not that great. So
I only played Fallout 3, and that was fucking awesome. And then I've heard a lot of good things about Fallout New Vegas, so I bought it.
Okay.
And then I also bought, I said Dishonored, Fallout New Vegas, Oblivion. I took a step backwards from Skyrim, because just, the whole Elder Scrolls series is just fucking awesome. And I never played Oblivion. I always wanted to, so I decided why not. Then I bought Madden 13, FIFA 13. I bought Dead Island again, because it was only like $15, and I had sold it at GameStop that I wanted to play it again. For some reason, I've been wanting to play a zombie game, a good zombie game. And I had mentioned this last week. I'd been playing it. There's a few more other games, but those are the main ones I've actually been concentrating on more. But my time always ends up going to FIFA 13, the soccer game, which is always, I don't know, that's the most entertaining to me, because I'm a huge soccer fan. I know, so un-American for some of you, but
it's a football.
Yeah, it's actually football.
Football.
And it should be American football here, but regardless, I still love American football, or handball, or whatever or gridiron, whatever some people want to call it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing all week, and writing and all that shit. I was actually thinking about making a random ass podcast aside from Pyro Radio, but I had to think about it first. So everybody, keep your eye out for that on the Pyro Radio page. You might get a random podcast with just me and some random ass people. I might start talking to hobos.
That would be pretty cool, actually. Interviewing crazy people.
I could go to an asylum, just like conspiracy theorists in there, and I could like interview somebody that's like Dale Gribble from King of the Hill.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would love to meet somebody like Dale Gribble.
Rather than just going to asylums, just find some random crazy drunk ass person at a metal show and interview them.
You know what? There's always a psycho down in downtown Chicago.
Oh yeah,
always. So that won't be very hard. There's always this conspiracy people too. Like supposedly there's Russians dressed as American citizens and all that shit.
And I believe.
And then I've seen a few people in
charge
vans.
Of 9/11, I believe too.
Wait, what?
Elvis was in charge of 9/11. Actually, he flew the plane, the first plane.
Oh my god! But you know that's a good idea. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Just don't get yourself shanked.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think I'll have to put like a metal plated vest under my shirt or something.
Bulletproof vests are about $600, just so you know. So
I think I'll make my own like aluminum plate
you're
or some shit.
Like,
you know?
All right, no aluminum.
You know what I mean? You know, like something metal.
If you go to Menards, you can buy sheets of like that diamond plate junk.
All right.
Put a couple holes in there, and hang it from your neck.
It's like we're not planning for the zombie apocalypse later this month. We're just planning for fucking getting shanked by hobos.
And who knows? Maybe someone will come up to you and interview you, thinking you're crazy for wearing a piece of metal around your neck.
Speaking of, in 20 days, apparently the world's gonna end. Are you ready for that? That's like almost two. That's almost like this. Pretty much 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
I've had a good run.
Yeah, right. We've had a good run. How old are you now?
29.
29, 21.
I mean, it'd be perfect.
We've had a good 20 plus years. We had a good 20 plus years. Fuck it. But regardless if the world supposedly does end or we do go into some 4D dimension.
Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll get raptured or something.
Hopefully. Good thing I'm Catholic. I'm one of those very few metalhead religious people, so fuck you. I still like science though. But man, on the drive here, look at you, Tim, pulling out your cross.
Yeah, but you know what? I believe in the separation of metal and religion. So I still love my Bursum and Mayhem and Gorgoroth and all that.
And Deicide.
Like I say, for me, it's a good show. I don't give a fuck who he's worshiping. I'm
one of those. Honestly, I never thought of you as a religious guy. But for me though, it's just
religion and politics, the two things you don't discuss.
Yeah, I never discuss politics because I don't have an interest in them at all. And if you've listened to our previous podcasts, clearly I don't care because I voted for myself and my vice president was Nathan Explosion.
Very nice, very nice. And you know what? There's a good reason why I keep it to myself, and that's simply because, I have friends who are Satanists, atheists, whatever. And you know what? They always say, "Oh, I can't stand Christianity because they preach." And you know what? Satanists and atheists preach to me more than I've ever been preached to by a Christian. So
it's just like, I don't know. As long as they respect my views, my beliefs, I respect theirs. So
exactly.
that's all that matters. But man, dude, on the way over here, and normally when I'm on the way over here where we record, it's very, very like. It always smells like food, so I always get hungry on the way over here. But I don't know why, but it smells so woodsy.
Woodsy, huh? What road do you take to get in here?
I take the expressway. I take the I-55.
Okay.
And but yeah, it usually smells like food or shit.
Well, I know there's that one main road here that is just literally lined with fast food restaurants, so it's kind of hard to drive down it and not smell food. Yeah,
I always smell food, and I always feel like I'm starving, even if I just ate before I head over here.
It's a chemical, man. It just pump that shit out, man.
But I always get hungry. But man, it felt so woodsy, and then it also like I guess the weather also helped because it's very unnaturally warm in Chicago right now. 60 degrees in the beginning of the summer. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe that means it is the end of the world, but I guess it gave me like a more woodsy scent, like it heightened it.
Right.
But I don't know, man. It just felt so woodsy, and I felt like I was ready to go head out camping. So I don't know. I kind of liked it. I preferred that over the whole fucking food scent.
All right, sounds good.
But also, if anybody has noticed, my voice is not feeling all congested like it was last week. I'm not as sick anymore.
You know what it was? It was the whiskey we drank last week.
No, I mentioned it before. I listened to the last week's podcast. I sounded very congested, but I'm not as congested as I was last week, but feeling a lot better.
Well, it's like I say, whiskey kills everything.
I think that's what it did. I think I might need more whiskey later, so kill it.
I think it's gone.
Damn it. But,
I do have some vodka.
Oh, that works. That's the Polish whiskey.
I believe it's this one's I believe Swedish. Absolutely,
Oh.
not from Sweden.
All right, that works. But I was at your house earlier this week though, and I saw that you guys already have all your Christmas lights going.
Yeah, I did it all.
Did you?
Yeah.
And then I saw there were some of them blinking.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You know what we have to do.
Yeah, well,
you know what we have to do. Send the play Slayer in the background.
See,
Put it on YouTube.
I don't have the time to do that kind of crap.
We will make the
but
time.
I will tell you this: all my Christmas lights are running on a Chauvet stage dimmer pack. That's what makes them blink in different sets like that. So shout out to Chauvet for making some kick-ass stage light equipment and letting me use it on my Christmas lights.
Well, we will make time to make it into some metal song. Maybe not. No, not Slayer. What was the other one? They were Slayer.
Oh, they do some stuff with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
That one.
Yeah, I think it's.
The first one was Slayer, though. I know that for sure.
No, I believe Trans-Siberian Orchestra came first.
Was it?
They did their Wizards in Winter song, which is a pretty kick-ass song. And then you have, I believe it was. I've heard Rain and Blood. I've heard South of Heaven. I think, both by Slayer, of course. But that's all I think I've seen so far.
Well, we're going to come up with something even more better.
If you do want to see something really funny, go on YouTube and look up Slayer Radio Disney. They do is they take live footage of a band, and they don't just do Slayer. There's a bunch of them on there. But my favorite is they take the live footage of Slayer playing Angel of Death, and then they redo the instruments and the vocals perfectly in line with the video, as if it was to be played on Radio Disney. So all the really heavy shredding is done on like a keyboard with a bouncy sound.
Yeah,
it's just, you know what? It's stupid, but it's a good laugh.
Yeah, back at one of our previous radio stations in Chicago, I did play one of those on the air. If you go back over to like 2009 to when we first started, then you will know what I'm talking about. But later after the show, actually, we're actually gonna go to a bar, which I'm looking very forward to.
Yes, we're heading downtown to the Exit.
Yes, we're going to the
Chicago's
Exit.
original metal and punk bar since 1981.
And I fucking love the Exit, man. Love it.
I do. I gotta say, I'm more of a fan of Neo, but they're both cool places. I don't know, it just seems like a lot of times I go to the Exit and the crowd's just not there.
Well, you show up at the wrong time.
I guess.
I guess you probably show up too early. What time do you usually show up?
Well, I've been there all night before, but you know, I guess it depends. I mean, I do remember that one of the bartenders at Neo used to always say the coffins don't open till midnight.
Yeah, Exit. I don't know, because Exit is one of those few bars in Chicago that doesn't close till like 4 a.m. every day.
I think it's 4 on weekdays and 5 on weekends.
All right, well,
I've seen Neo open till 5 because I've been there till then.
yeah, but I don't know. I've gone to Exit. I've never been to Neo, but Exit's my place to go. If anybody was like, "Oh, let's go to a bar," I'm like, "All right, let's go to Exit." That's one of those places you have to experience when you're in Chicago.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like
because it's like they have that chandelier bras, and if you
I
notice,
remember, you know what?
if you notice, they're
when that
always
wasn't
those
there.
huge boob bras too. There's never any like A's or B bras up there. There's always those big boob bras.
Like I say, I remember back before when there was only like 2 bras on that thing. And now it's just
Old
like
man.
covered. Yeah, I'm old. I know.
But yeah, we're gonna be at Exit later. Hopefully, we see some of you later on there. But I know you won't be hearing this until the next day. But yeah, we already posted up on Facebook to come say hello, buy us some beers or some whiskey, because those are our thing.
I'm a screwdriver guy. Just so you know, vodka and orange juice for me.
All right, so next time you see Tim at Exit, screwdriver for him. You can buy me a Jaeger bomb. Anything with Jaeger, I'm good with. But do you have any stories over at Exit? I have a few.
I've only had one weird experience, and that was with a word that I like to use that's still around from the 80s, and that's called poser. I was there, and this was one of those metalhead jocks, I guess is a good way to put it. One of those guys that's just like, oh, I'm so metal, I want to kill everybody! That kind of guy. And I was there with a friend, she got a little tipsy, and she took his jacket, not realizing, because she thought it was hers. She was drunk, like I say. And this guy just went nuts. I mean, there were like 6 of us trying to explain it was an accident, she's drunk, and he just was cruising for a fight. I mean, I think security finally grabbed him and dragged him back inside, but it was just like, you know, take a break, man, take a breather, lay off the PCP, okay?
Oh, man, if that was me there, I would have gotten into the fight for fun.
Well, there was like 6 of us there against this one guy, and he just would not give it up, because, I mean, the 6 of us were just like, you know, we're tired, we don't want to start a fight. But this guy was going nuts over something stupid.
Well, I know I've gotten my fair share of fights over at Exit, and I win the fight, but at the end of the next morning I lose because my wrist is killing me from punching the guy so hard. And it's like, fuck. And then sometimes I don't even remember the fight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because during those fights, I'm not the one driving, thank God. But, yeah, my friends were just like, man, you got into this fight, blah, 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 you knocked him right out. And I'm like, man, that fucking explains why my hand hurts and my wrist hurts like a motherfucker. But, the one story that really sticks out to me, though, is that, apparently I have a fucking doppelganger. I have a doppelganger at the Exit. And he's putting a bad name to my face.
So we have to find him tonight and kill him?
Yes.
What do you got, wooden stake and a hammer?
I got a fucking bat. I will beat him to a pulp. But, yeah, like, there was this one time I went to the Exit, and I was talking to this girl. You know, we were having a good conversation, and I was about to leave. And then I was like, and I asked her, how about I get your number, and I give you a call later on this week. And I'm not even kidding. She told me this shit. She told me, I don't know, because it seems that every time I come to the Exit, you're here and you're stalking me. And you're always staring at me. And I looked at her with the most fucking retarded looking face. Like, I have a certain like a certain expression that I like to call the croner. And only really close friends will know what I'm talking about. Or anybody that I went with high school with. And it's pretty much this face where I just like open my arms and look at her like sideways, and I open my mouth and just look like she's a fucking retard. And because that's one of my astronomy teachers used to give. His name was Crone. So he gave the expression, so I called it the croner. And after that, I've been giving people that expression. So I gave her that expression, the croner. I'll post up a picture of it later on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely need to see that picture.
And yeah, I gave her the croner. I'm like, I only come here once a week. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I've never seen you ever in my life. She's like, no, I come here like every other day, and I always see you here, and you're always staring at me from the other side of the bar. So I was just like, no, I've never seen you here before, and I know the bartender. She's seen me here every week on the same day at the same time, because I'm here with the same friends. And I called the bartender over, and I was like, how often am I here every week? And she's like, once, and if we get lucky, maybe twice a week. And I was like, all right, see what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not stalking you. And she's like, no, I'm pretty sure you are. Seems like you're stalking me, so I don't know if I should give you my number. And I looked at the bartender, and I was like, this bitch thinks I'm stalking her. That's what I said. This bitch thinks I'm stalking her. Please tell her I'm not fucking stalking her, because at that point I was already getting irritated. And she laughed, and she's like, she looked at her dead in the eye, and she's like, trust me, this guy is not stalking you. He's a really nice guy.
Okay.
She still says, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't even want your number anymore.
Oh.
And I walk out. And then I go back the next day, and then I ask the bartender, like, is there somebody else that looks like me that's at this bar? And she's like, I don't know. I think I have seen somebody that looks similar to you. Okay. Just with longer hair, and he's not as scruffy with his facial hair as you are.
Oh, you're scruffy.
Well, right now I am. I haven't shaved. And I didn't shave that day either. But regardless, though, and I was just like, fuck.
I have a 3-foot katana sword. Do you want to shave?
Nah, I'm good. I like my scruffiness. Makes me look like a man. But regardless, though, that pissed me off. I was like, I have a fucking doppelganger that's making me look like a stalker.
Pissed me off.
I know. So if I see him, I'm gonna kick his ass one of these days.
All right.
So if you see him today, we're gonna kill him.
All right. If I see you today, I'm gonna kick his ass. Right?
We'll make a secret question. If he can't answer it right, then you know that's not me.
Okay. So I gotta say something like, "Hey man, Pyro Radio was great tonight. If he looks puzzled, I kill him."
There you go.
All right. Don't get too drunk, just in case you forget what Pyro Radio is.
Never. I'm always bragging about Pyro Radio. I love this show. I love this shit. That's my baby. But regardless, though, we're gonna kill Doppelganger hopefully tonight and be an exit. So hopefully we see some of you later on. But we're gonna play some.
If you guys come out tonight, you can take a limb.
Oh yeah. Just let me know who you are, and some of you like Pyro Radio, then we'll let you get the limb. I call the heart though, and his dick. I want to cut off his dick.
You can have that, man. I don't want it.
I won't keep it. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll make it a trophy. Make it a trophy and say, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna make your dick my next trophy.
Alright.
That'll be brutal. But regardless, though, we're gonna go on a break. We'll be right back with some more Pyro Radio. But here is some Beyond Creation here on Pyro Radio. back to Pyro Radio. I am Mike Lopez, and I'm here with
Tim Anders,
who is a total douche. But you're just listening to some Beyond Creation.
He's gonna die.
Some Beyond Creation with social disability. But before the show though, I did show you this one video.
Okay.
And you actually liked it. I thought you didn't. I really thought you wouldn't like it. It's this Japanese JPop metal with quotation marks around that group, not a band, but a group called Baby Metal. And I was kind of skeptical about it, but they released a new video this week for their new single. Their album's coming out in January. Very skeptical, but I watched the video, and it was interesting, but also very entertaining and awesome at the same time.
Right.
And that's my opinion, because I know I give everything a chance, and I didn't know about how you would like it, Tim, because sometimes you can be closed-minded.
It was different.
But it was different, but you did enjoy it though, right?
I enjoyed the shredding, the vocals. I don't know. It was, like I say, it was just like I liked it, but at the same time I didn't.
And we're gonna give you a hint of how this sounds. So here it goes. All right, now that you guys heard it, but like you were saying, Tim, it sounds different.
Right. I mean, it's phenomenal guitar work. I didn't know who plays guitars for this guy, but I mean, we're talking vote on before they changed their style. Phenomenal guitar work, and then it just goes into like Japanese pop vocals. So, if you're into that kind of thing, then go for it. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'd just say give it a listen either way.
Yeah, I don't know. At first, like I said, I was really skeptical, but once I listened to it, I was really into it. I haven't heard a full album from them. I've only looked for a few YouTube videos. I only saw 2 official ones that I saw so far. I didn't really go into looking for them really into it. But I found 2 official videos. One of them was the one that I showed you, which is the newer one.
Right.
One of them was, I think, in June. They released this one in June before they released an album in July 4th, because it's a miracle. But anyway, the video was about pretty much some girl worshipping something metal, and then she had to get a neck brace so she can headbang, which is pretty cool. Sometimes you do need a neck brace to headbang, because the music's that awesome.
That would be a good album title. I'm gonna need a neck brace
to headbang. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I saw one of their promotions for their tours in Japan, and it showed one of their live performances, and I was a little disappointed because I didn't show you this one. I didn't show you this video. So it's the one singer girl and 2 backup girls, and 2 backup singer girls. Supposedly they play guitar, and it was pretty much the 3 girls on stage, choreographed dancing, and the rest of the band, the guitarist, the bassist, the drummer, were in the very back of the stage in pitch black lighting. There's no lighting on them at all whatsoever. And it kind of threw me off, and I was a little disappointed, because I was just like, whoa, why aren't you guys going to give lighting to the guys that are making you guys look fucking epic? So
honestly, I'd rather just look at the girls anyway.
Here's the funny part, though, which is gonna make you look like a total pedo. These girls are only 13 years old.
No. No.
I swear to God, they are only 13.
Just to defend myself here, a lot of you guys already know this. With a lot of Asian girls, they'll be like 30 and look like they're 12. So yeah, that's a no, man.
Well, you know what? Let's just hope that they're lying about their age for your sake.
Let's hope they're lying about their age.
Let's hope they're lying for
their sake.
Anyway, though,
because you know what, I may think they looked good, but I would not act on that. And there are plenty of guys out in this scene that would be like, I don't care how old she is. You know that too.
I'll show her a man.
You know
yeah,
that.
I
I
know.
could name a few people from our scene, but I won't.
But we won't. But you know who they're signed to a Japanese label, but you know what label what new label they would be doing a good profit for? Metallica's new record label.
All right.
Because so far it's just Metallica, and I think it's called Blackened Recordings.
Yeah, I read a little bit into this. So it's just Metallica so far. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's just Metallica. They just started this week.
Now, are you sure they're actually planning on adding more to it? Because I mean, I know Iron Maiden owns their own record label, Sanctuary Records, I believe it is.
I'm not positive, but if they do, let's hope they add a baby metal on there for America at least. But but if anybody's new to this news,
Let's hope they add Megadeth.
that's a funny one. But Metallica, they recently opened up. They started a new own record label, and they actually bought the rights to all of the recordings.
Jeez, I wonder how much Elektra sold those for. I mean, I know Metallica can afford it.
Oh, definitely.
But I just kind of want to know what Elektra would.
I know. I'm curious too. We should probably ask them.
How much did they pay for this?
We that's what we'll do this week. We'll email them and ask them about it. But that's probably a lot of money though.
Oh, most
A
definitely.
lot. Because this one made them famous. But yeah, Metallica have their own record label. They bought all their music rights. So everything on Blackened Recordings
So
is
what
going to
you're
be
telling
on.
me though is that most likely Metallica is going to re-release.
Oh
all
yeah,
their albums.
definitely.
So if you have the original Elektra recordings, which I'm sure pretty much everybody and their mother on this planet already has, because everybody has them, they won't be worth anything.
Oh no, fuck that. No, I was during my interview with Scott Hedrick from Skeleton Witch, we were talking about vinyls and recordings and shit.
Right.
And I had asked him like, what's his most valuable one, and he couldn't make up his mind because he has so many.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him my most valuable one is the first press release of Master of Puppets from Metallica with Electric. So
that's a good one.
and
I mean,
the best part though
I
is
own
that
that one too.
I only bought it for $20.
I think I got mine for less than that, but I can't remember.
But yeah, if you think about it, it's Master of Puppets and these record labels. Some of these record stores just don't even know because they have so many noobs on there nowadays. They don't know what the fuck they're selling.
Right. Well, like I had heard a story from a friend who was actually in Europe, and this is like 10 years ago, and he was in Europe on vacation, so he didn't have oodles of money to spend with him. And he was in a record shop, and he actually came across a copy of Metal Up Your Ass.
Oh my
For
god!
those of you who don't know,
That is cut 'em all.
well, it's Metallica's first album. It wasn't an official album. It was like a demo type album, and it actually features Dave Mustaine on guitars.
Yeah, so pretty much Metal Up Your Ass is pretty much Kill 'Em All, but with Dave Mustaine and demo version.
Mustaine wrote them all.
Yeah.
But the sad part is here,
I love
because
that.
he didn't have
Mustaine wrote
enough
'em
money
all.
with him, he didn't buy it because he didn't know what it was at the time. He's like, oh, it's some Metallica single or something. Didn't know what it was. It was only $20, and he didn't buy it. And
Wow.
I was just like, oh man, I would love to hear some old school Metallica with Dave.
Actually, there are some online. I used to have some
Well,
online.
I know
on
I have
MP3.
some with another guy, Ron McGovney or something, I believe his name. I don't even know who he is, but I have some recordings with him on there. I mean, I believe he was. Shit, I don't even know what instrument he played. I should probably look that up sometime.
If you have a copy of Metal Up Your Ass, please contact me because I will buy that off of you.
Well, that's a rare one. A couple of other rare ones I'd like to see are some of those old White Zombie vinyls.
Yes.
Not Astro Creep, not Lust Exorcisto. I'm talking Make Them Die Slowly.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Soul Crusher, I believe. They don't even sound like Zombie at all, but it's just collector's value right there. As far as me, though, for my rarest stuff, I have a couple of 45s that I consider my noteworthy items. One of them is actually from a fairly recent album. It's a Creator's latest album, and for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of their latest album was right now. But it's a 45, and it has the single, and on the reverse side, it has a cover of Iron Maiden. And I actually got it autographed by everybody in the band, and both Millie Petrosa and Jürgen Ryle asked me where I got it and how I got it because it was so rare.
Oh, just to interrupt you real quick. You're talking about Phantom Antichrist.
Phantom Antichrist. There you go. And I got them all to sign that one. And then the other rare one I found, which was actually very interesting, is when Accept first announced that they were having a reunion tour. I was at a Half Price Books, and I came across a 45 demo of theirs of Metal Hearts. And it was only $1.50. I bought it and got them to sign it. Now it says right on there, it says, accept this free, do not buy. So it's one of their demos on a 45 vinyl, and I got Wolf Hoffman to sign it for me.
Wow.
So that's one of my rarest ones, I think.
But if you have any rare vinyls or records, anything like the sort at home, let us know on Facebook, because we'd love to know. You never know, we might like to buy it from you. So facebook.com/Pyro Radio, let us know. But speaking of albums, with albums always comes artwork. Album artwork. And recently Suffocation just released their album artwork for their latest album, and I fucking love it.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? I think I sent you a link earlier today so you can check it out, but it's for their Pinnacle of Bedlam album. It's coming out, and I think it's fucking awesome.
Actually, you know what? I probably got the press release in my email too. So.
Probably. You check it out, but yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go to, I think metalsucks.net has it. Mm-hmm. Suffocation, Pinnacle of Bedlam that's the name of the album. They have the artwork, and I fucking love that. Because I know it's...
that's nice. It kind of looks like Justice holding up the scales,
exactly.
But the face is Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because it's like, it's just like Justice and whatever. And then I know other bands have tried to do it before, like Metallica did it for Justice for All. And then I think Job for a Cowboy tried to do it.
Who?
Job for a Cowboy.
Who?
All right. Exactly. Exactly. Some of you might tell Tim doesn't like Job for a Cowboy.
I have another name for him, so yeah.
Let's try to keep it on friendly terms with this band, because I actually know these guys. But yeah, Suffocation's new album artwork is, I don't know. I saw it and I was like, oh shit, I love this album artwork. So if I were to get the vinyl, I would want it. But what my question is though for you, Tim, because I know you're more of a press promotions.
Well, yeah, that too.
And all that. How important is it to have album artwork, if it is even to have it at all?
Album artwork is a hit or miss. There's a lot of people out there that will pick up an album based on artwork, but on the same hand, there's a lot of people that don't even care and never even look at it, because, let's face it, the majority of people nowadays just download the music and never actually buy the album. But a good percentage of people will still buy the albums who are collectors, and that's why vinyl's becoming popular again, because you get a bigger copy of the artwork, basically. So a lot of people are liking that, and it helps, but it's like anything. It's a tool for promotion, just like making music videos are. Ever since MTV stopped posting music videos are just a thing for YouTube, and a lot of people watch them, but I don't think they help create that many new fans, because the people who watch them are already fans usually. So it's a complicated thing. I think videos and artwork are probably something more for newer bands, unless you have famous artwork. For example, Iron Maiden, their artwork has become so famous thanks to Eddie, and I believe most of that was done by Derek Riggs. I don't believe he makes the new stuff, but I'm not positive, so don't quote me on that. But it can have both a sided effect, two-sided effect, I guess is a better term for that.
This is a hit or miss for album artwork.
Right.
For me, album artwork is, I don't know, it has always been a hit or miss, because for newer bands, especially for newer bands, if their album artwork, it doesn't look any good, like appealing to me while I'm looking, like sorting out through CDs or vinyls, excluding the name, because the name also can throw me off complete as well. And sometimes I regret it, because later on when I hear them, I'm like, oh shit, I saw their CD and they thought they sucked, but they're fucking awesome. But their album artwork is, for me, can be a big deal, for at least for me. Because if it sucks, then I'm not going to want to check it out. If it's just some like random ass skeleton and or some random ass gory picture, I'm not gonna want to fucking listen to it. I'll just think it's like, oh, here goes another wannabe Cannibal Corpse or whatever, you know.
Well, like that's one of the things I do when I interview bands. Is I always ask them if their artwork has a meaning, and I really like it when a band has a huge story about where it's from, what it means, and if it relates to the album. Every now and then you get the bands that are just like, oh, we thought it was cool. It's just like, to me, that's nothing. I want to know what it's about. So,
yeah, the one album artwork that ever really, really, really caught my attention was the Devastated's debut album that came out last year,
okay.
Which was Devil's Messenger, and they are in Century Media, if you're wondering.
All right.
And I looked at their album artwork, and it's my kind of style of art because I really like it. I can't really explain it. You know, you have to check it out. So if you want to check out the album artwork for Devastated, go to the Devastated's Facebook.com or .com, whatever. I'm assuming it's the Devastated, and check out their artwork because I really like it, and I know the art. I've heard of the artist before, and I've always liked his artwork. And it's made by John Wayshak.
Okay.
And if you really look at the artwork and you think about it, it actually makes sense to what the lyrics and what the band is about. Because I did interview them before when they were in Chicago. The last time they were in Chicago with Fear Factory, and just from the conversation and the interview with the guy, with the vocalist, who I can't remember off the top of my head what his name was, but the album artwork actually made sense to what the purpose of the band was. Like, I know the band is trying to go for a dirty, grimy looking sounding kind of sound, and just from the album artwork, it gives that kind of vibe away as well.
Right.
So it just totally works, which is something a lot of bands really have to think about, other than, like you said, just, oh, it looked cool, so we chose it.
Right.
So, the Devastated is a band that I would totally check out and check out their album artwork, because that's something I would really like. That's something that I would put up on my wall.
All right. You know who I'm actually liking? I don't think he's done a lot of album art yet, but he's just starting to become popular with his artwork outside of music. Is Paul Allender from Cradle of Filth started Vomitorium art, and he does some really dark shit, and it looks really cool. And I actually wrote him on Facebook to get prices, and he will send you prints of any of his artwork on his site. So, I mean, he does charge for it, but you know, it's good deal and it's good artwork. So, if you like that dark, creepy artwork, check him out. He does some really nasty shit.
But yeah, if you're a new band and you don't have any album artwork yet, always make sure that your album artwork matches your music and what you guys are aiming for. Don't go for the full, it looked cool, so we got it.
Right.
Because if we like your album artwork and we listen to your music, trust me, the metal community will put a bad word out for you. Because that's what we're a family, but if you don't belong in the family, you will not be allowed in.
Right.
But speaking of albums, though, Crash Diet, which is a glam or hair metal band. If you don't like hair metal band, then stop listening in for the next minute or 30 seconds to 60 seconds. But Crash Diet from Sweden is releasing a new album January 22nd, which is called The Savage Playground, which I think is a pretty good album title. Savage Playground.
As long as it has a meaning to them.
Hopefully.
I mean, to me, it just goes back to artwork. It's just like tattoos that don't have a meaning. I mean, if you got a butterfly in your ankle to signify freedom from a bad relationship, all you're doing is reminding yourself of that bad relationship. So, you know, I mean, get something worthwhile, do something worthwhile, write something worthwhile, and don't have a title that has absolutely nothing to do with your album.
All right, you Swedish bastards. You heard it from Tim. So, Crash Diet, if your album title, The Savage Playground, doesn't have any meaning, then Tim will give you lots of shit on January 23rd. But, yeah, the Crash Diet, pretty much like the equivalent, I would say, to Motley Crue of the 2000s, is coming out with a new album, The Savage Playground, on January 22nd of 2013. But also, this was actually really big news in the metal community. Carcass rumored that we came out with a new album after 17 years.
All right.
So keep an eye out for that, because I am more than positive that there's a lot of people like very, very. I'm pretty sure they had to change their pants multiple times after hearing that news.
Well, let's just hope it's good and the hype it lives up to its own hype. I mean, the same thing recently happened with Guns N' Roses releasing Chinese Democracy after 16 years or whatever.
That was a travesty.
You know what? I heard it was. I never even listened to it. I was never really a Guns N' Roses fan, so to me it wasn't appealing at all anyway. But simply put, when you take that long to release an album, your album better be damn good.
Yeah, because I listened to it twice in a row, and it was god awful. I listened to it like I've listened to previous releases to it of the non-official releases. It changed so much, but after a while it was too overproduced. But regardless, Chinese Democracy sucked. So Carcass, get your shit together. 17 years, give us a good album. But we're gonna go on another break. Hope you all enjoy the good music. But Tim, what are we listening to?
Show me it.
All right, you're very unprepared, Tim.
Oh, it froze. What do you want me to do? All right, this is Absvrdist, and this album is called Illusionary.
Here on Pyro Radio. Welcome back to Pyro Radio. I'm Mike, and I'm with
Tim Anders, and that was Absvrdist with Illusionary.
And if you don't know already, then that is, well, I'm pretty sure some of you don't know, unless you're really into the Faceless. That is the Faceless side project. The Faceless is drummer's side project. That's a lot of S's. That's adversary. What is it? I can't
Absvrdist.
Absvrdist. That's his side project. So check it out. It's pretty good for a crank. I'm not really into grindcore, but I was able to dig that. I dug that. But Tim, comes to the time of the show where it's time for you to give us some noteworthy tour dates.
All right, so I'm changing things up a little bit here. In the past, I just gave you whatever I thought was cool. Now I'm doing that based on the month. So we're in December now, so I've got 6 awesome shows coming up for you in December. And that's, we have High on Fire with Goat Whore. We have the legendary Winter Sun coming through with Helveti and Varg.
And just know, this is Winter Sun's first US tour, so you have to get there. They're selling out quick.
Then we have Hansel and Gretel coming through once again, if you like that industrial stuff, heavy industrial. Sonata Arctica is touring with Arceus and Holy Grail. Then we have Dying Fetus, Malignancy, and Cerebral Bore coming through. And once again, I'm not sure if this is a tour or just a one-off, but Macabre's Holiday of Horrors. So make sure you check all those out and get your metal on.
And speaking of tours, though, there's 2 tours that were big news. One of them is Meshuggah. That's for the genty kind of fans. Since I guess Meshuggah did start the gent kind of genre, right? You're not into it, but
I'm not. I just remember a post from a friend of mine who's on Facebook. I'm not going to say what label he works for, but he is the president of a major label, and his post was, "Somebody help me find a good djenty band. They all sound the same."
But yeah, Meshuggah, you go check out Meshuggah if you want to check them out. I think off the top of my head, I can't remember the whole bill for that tour, but Animals as Leaders will be on there. And I'm not the biggest Animals as Leaders fan, but they are definitely worth checking out. Because it's all instrumental, there's no vocals, but the fucking guy can play, I think it's an 8-string guitar. That's impressive as it is. I can barely play 6 strings on my guitar,
Dude, I got
man.
an 8-string guitar player in one of the bands I manage.
Well, this guy can play 8 strings, man. Like, it's nothing. Like, it's fucking
this guy's
kindergarten
pretty, this guy's
shit,
pretty amazing on his, too, so...
Well, anybody that can play an 8-string guitar,
we salute you.
We salute you, my friend. Congratulations. We fucking love you. But other than that, the bigger news than that, the Meshuggah tour, and I know you're excited about it, Tim.
Oh, definitely.
I see the biggest smile in your face.
I always love when this tour comes through, and that's Pagan Fest.
Pagan Fest.
They took a break for a few years there, but they're back now. They came back with the last one. This is Pagan Fest Part 4, and here is your confirmed lineup for Pagan Fest. Ensephirum will be headlining once again. They will be having Tyr as support, as well as Heidevolk and Trollfest, along with the opener from Los Angeles, Hellsult. So, you know what? I'll be honest. I like Ensephirum. I'm not the biggest Tyr fan, and I've heard of the other bands. I've heard some of their stuff, but I want to see them live because I don't know if you guys are like this, but I like to see a band live. That's how they win me over. If they can win me over at a show, they can win me over at all. Period.
So if Tim's really excited for the tour, then that's something it's worth checking out.
Definitely.
Because Tim does not get that excited for... Because he's been to plenty of... you've been to more concerts than I have. I'm pretty sure you have.
Definitely.
Definitely. And I got to a lot.
Right.
And
remember to wear your kilts and your war paint. No tour dates announced yet, but I'm sure it's coming soon.
Yeah. And if Tim's that excited for a tour, then you have to go.
Definitely.
It's definitely, you have to go. But then, on to a different note, though. Quiznos released a metal commercial this week.
I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I saw it on TV twice.
I can't remember it now.
It was kind of Dragon Force-y, it sounded kind of like Dragon Force music, but what they were the whole promotion was that they were giving out free cookies.
Okay.
I forgot what date.
Would you like a cookie?
Oh yeah.
All right.
But yeah, they're giving out free cookies if you buy a fucking sub or whatever. And what I was thinking is, what would make an awesome, legit metal commercial?
There's some out there that I think most of them are done as fun. I believe they did one for Burger King once when they had a flaming hot sandwich.
Oh, they did.
I don't know if it was. I think it was a made-up black metal band in the commercial.
Yeah,
but
I remember seeing that one.
It was entertaining to see still.
And you know what?
Oh, there's another good one. There was a back-to-school commercial. I want to say it was either Office Max or Office Depot, featuring Alice Cooper and his daughter.
I remember that one. That one had me laughing for a bit.
That was a good one.
But there's this commercial though. I saw this commercial and then I got curious, like what other metal bands have done commercials. And the one that really, really, really stuck out to me, besides Ozzy, you know, last year in the Super Bowl commercials, but the one that really legitimately stuck out to me was Skeleton Witch.
Okay.
They did a commercial for a video store. I don't know where it was, but I found this so hilarious because their acting skills are... No offense, I love Skeleton Witch. Their acting skills are just horrible.
Well,
they were well, not horrible, but they were laughable. But I watched it. We watched it before the show.
I think that was the intent, though.
Yeah, I know it was, but oh my god, I don't know. It just made me laughing. I'm gonna post it up on Facebook as we speak. But yeah, that skeleton commercial, and I'm gonna post it up on their Facebook as well to remind them. Hopefully, humiliate them a little bit. But yeah, it was pretty funny though. I would actually like to see more commercials with metal bands like that, because I could.
It'd be cool.
Because you know every metal band's so serious and blah 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 blah.
Well, you know
it's nice to see a humorous metal band commercial.
You know what I want to know? I gotta ask this question. All right, I know Ozzy did a commercial for World of Warcraft.
He did?
Yes, and it was something about him creating his own character. There was the Prince of Darkness in there or whatever. What I want to know is why did Ozzy do it and not George Corpse Grinder Fisher, who is like the self-proclaimed World of Warcraft junkie?
I would have thought he already did one already by now.
If he did, I haven't seen it. So,
well, if you guys find something like that on YouTube, then post it up on our wall.
Yeah, exactly. Post it to the wall. I'd like to see any commercials that have metal bands in them.
Yeah, because we want to get a good laugh. And you know what? Something I didn't mention within the beginning of the show. For the past few weeks, I've been trying to... For the past month, I've been trying to convince you to be our full-time... My full-time co-host. And I finally got around to you, man. So, Pyro Radio fans, Tim Anders is our full-time permanent co-host.
I want to hear your applause now.
That's mine, but let's hear yours later on. But anyway, Tim Anders is part of Pyro Radio officially. He's our official co-host here. So I'm glad I have you, because apparently a lot of people like you.
I'm a likable kind of guy.
I know you're lovable. You're like a teddy bear.
And ladies, I am single.
He is single, ladies, and he will make you a sandwich.
I'm making more of a sandwich. I'm a cook.
Oh I'm not gonna lie about that. He makes a mean steak.
I make a mean everything.
So, ladies, go after Tim. But yeah, Tim, I'm very glad you're a part of our Pyro Radio staff.
Well, thank you for having me.
We are very glad we have you here, and we appreciate your time and dedication to us. So thank you.
You may bow down now.
Fuck you. I'm the main host, asshole. You're my employee here. I'm your employee for the offering. So on this one day out of the week, I'm your boss.
All right, fair enough.
And then the rest of the week, I'm your employee.
Bow down.
But anyway, though, back to the metals. I just wanted to say thank you randomly in the middle of the show. But during I think it was the British or French X Factor. I don't know if you've ever heard of X Factor. It's like American Idol.
Heard of it? I would.
It's pretty much American Idol, but with there's some, I don't know if Simon Cowell's. I don't know if some of you know who he is. That's the guy from American Idol.
Yeah, I know.
That's his main show. That was how he started off as a judge. But there's so many different countries doing that same shit for X Factor, which is what Simon Cowell's original American Idol was. But there was a French one where this girl had the balls to go on the show and do metal vocals.
Oh, I've seen one better. There's one on YouTube of a guy who shows up. It wasn't.
No, but her shit though was legit.
Yeah.
She sounded. I'm not gonna compare it to Arch Enemy, but they were glottal vocals. Nothing was clean.
All right.
And unfortunately, there was no applause for her and blah blah blah. But she only got one X. She got 2 approvals out of 1, but she still wasn't approved for the show.
Wait, you mean nobody yelled out in the crowd, "Fucking Slayer"?
I don't know, man. It was fucking French. But yeah, like.
How do you say "fucking Slayer" in French?
That's a good question.
If you know how to speak French, post it to the wall.
But yeah, man, I saw that video on YouTube and then on Metal Injection, and I got to thinking, what if there was a metal show, a metal X Factor, or a metal American Idol?
That'd be cool, but I don't think metalheads would support it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because metalheads just don't give a fuck enough to go, oh my god, I want to vote for this guy.
That, or they'd be thinking like, oh, it's on TV and blah blah blah. I don't want to vote for this. This is mainstream. They're gonna turn into some mainstream bullshit, you know?
Or they'd be like, oh, I'm so underground. I don't even own a TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And unfortunately, that's one thing that the metal community has to get out of for us to expand.
Yes and no.
Yes and no, because it's cool that we have our own thing, but also it'd be nice if we could actually expand.
Well, it's nice to expand, but unfortunately, with expanding, you get a lot of the people you don't want there in the first place. The douchebags.
True. You know what?
They started joining metal in the like early 90s, and it's just been not good. Not good.
If you think about it, the metal community already has its own douchebags. Those Jersey Shore kind of looking guys.
Yeah.
They're always working out. They go to concerts just to get in the mosh pit and just beat the shit out of people.
No karate in the pit. Can't.
Well, they're not even doing karate. They're just going in there just to beat, like, smash into people and knock them out.
That's because they got the idea all wrong. The idea is not to hurt people. It's to have a good time.
It's like, all right, well, like, for myself, like, you know, nowadays I don't want to just like push people and blah blah blah. Like, you know, I want to fucking ram into somebody,
right,
and prove my masculinity with some other masculine ass dude. But at the same time, we're gonna respect each other. We're not gonna knock the shit out of each other. We're gonna black out.
You in the face with my 5-pound
exactly.
boots.
Like if you get knocked down for that one dude, he will pick you right back up and say good job and blah blah blah. You know.
Exactly. There's support for them.
Yeah, you know, like there's gonna be part of my article later this week on the offering. The metal community is a fucking family.
Damn right.
And if you knock somebody out on the pit, then you pick them right back up. Even if you knock them down, you pick them right back up.
Unless they were doing karate in the pit.
Exactly.
Then you stomp their skull in.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to see a metal X Factor, some shit like that. I think it's pretty cool. Even if it was just on the internet, like YouTube or whatever, It doesn't have to be on like network TV.
Well, maybe we should make one, Mike.
We should. So if you'd like that, tell us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pyro Radio, and let us know. Right. Or you can tweet me at I'm gonna give you my fucking handle. Don't ask me for a fucking fucking URL. My handle for Twitter is at.
He's got handles.
Oh yeah. Pyro Radio Mike, and I don't know if you want to tweet
what's
Tim.
Twitter?
Even though you just followed me this week, it took you long enough.
Yeah, well, like I say, I have a Twitter account.
Yeah, you never use it.
The only time I go on it is when someone sends me when I get an email that says this person is following you, and then I go there, I follow them, and then I close it.
Yeah, I saw you followed me, but you never retweeted anything I put up there, like for Pyro Radio.
Once again,
so I was like,
Twitter.
This guy does not do anything on there. But yeah, follow at least me, Pyro Radio Mike, on Twitter, and tell me what you think about the Metal X Factor. But you know, we're gonna go on another break. So here's Opera I5 or Opera IV or Opera 4.
Well, let's see, IV. What would that'd be 4?
That'd be 4.
I don't know.
I think.
If you're a member of Opera IV, write us and tell us what it is.
He probably will. But they're from Italy. So
actually,
here's.
I'll ask him. I talk to him now and then.
All right. So Opera IV or Opera 4 here on Pyro Radio. and welcome back to Pyro Radio. We were just listening to some Opera I-5 or Opera I-B or Opera 4. We don't know yet.
Well, IV would be 4.
IV or 4. Alright, Opera 4. We were just listening to some Opera 4 here on Pyro Radio. And I'm Mike, and I'm here with
Tim.
And we were just talking about Walking Dead, because we actually... Did we just miss a Walking Dead? No, we didn't miss it. Comes out in an hour, or half an hour actually.
We're not going to be here for it anyway.
Yeah, we're not going to be here for it anyway. And I torrent it. Don't tell anybody though.
He torrents it.
I torrent it.
He torrents it.
But anyway, have you been catching up with Walking Dead lately?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I love the show.
Yeah, that's one of those shows I have to watch every week. If I don't, I'm going to be very pissed off. That's not one of those shows where I can wait 2 weeks and then watch two episodes in a row.
Right.
Like Dexter, I can wait. But
Actually,
Walking Dead,
I've never seen an episode of Dexter.
I'll get to that in a bit.
All right.
But Walking Dead isn't, for me, it's not Sundays. For me, it's on Mondays because I torrent it. And sorry about that. I apologize if I actually had AMC on my cable provider, then I wouldn't have to torrent it.
You know what? If you had Comcast, you would see the billions of messages that AMC prints on their screen saying, if you can't see, telling you how AMC is not available on Dish Network or whatever. And then my question to them is, if it's not available on Dish Network and you're trying to remind them of that and they can't see it, what's the point?
I guess they're just getting paid with other cable providers to promote that.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, though, I don't get AMC, so I have to do the most next logical thing for a poor man to do, because I have rent and groceries and shit to pay for.
Yeah, he needs to eat some bacon.
I know, I need my bacon. But yeah, it's not Sundays for me, it's Mondays or Monday mornings or whatever.
Yeah.
I have to watch it every week.
Yeah, that's pretty much for me too. I never watch it when it's actually on. I have on demand, so I just watch it that way.
But yeah, if you watch it and I haven't watched it yet, just go on the Facebook page and tell me how awesome it is. Just say awesome, thumbs up or thumbs down. Just
he doesn't want spoilers.
Yeah, I do not want spoilers. Thankfully, on my personal Facebook page, I don't have any people that spoil it for me. All they ever do is just say, this episode was interesting, or blah blah blah.
Okay.
They never give me spoilers. Never.
Because you don't want to have to kill them then, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't want to travel to California or Nebraska or where the fuck you are and chop your balls off.
Do people actually live in Nebraska?
I don't know. Good
I
question.
just assumed it was uninhabited.
If you're in Nebraska and you're listening to the show, let us know. If you do, we'll give you a special shout out.
Actually, let us know where you're all coming from.
That would be nice. Even though the Facebook page does tell us, but it tells us by state. It doesn't tell us by town.
Well, even the state or the country.
I would actually be more happy if small town people were listening to us than big town people, because that'd be a lot tougher. But if you're in a small town or anywhere in period in general, let us know where you're coming from and where you're listening from. We'd actually like to know, since Facebook isn't that specific with us. But speaking of zombies, though, like I said earlier in the show, December is the last month before the end of the world. Oh my God! And Tim, you actually corrected me. It's not December 22nd. It's December 21st.
Right. That's
so technically,
the Mayans
and
19 Nostradamus are going to rise from the grave with the Pueblo Indians and go around and kill everybody by setting off a super volcano. And what else were they going to do? I can't remember everything there.
I don't even want to know. But all right, it's not 21 days. It's not 20 days left. Apparently we have 19 fucking days left, man.
Dun dun dun.
But my question is, all right. Before I get started, my question. This weekend, I don't know why. I have Netflix, and for some reason, Netflix has been recommending a lot of zombie movies to me lately.
Of course.
And period, since I was a little kid, since I was, I would have to say probably 4, I've been into zombies. So I'm not one of those fucking Hot Topic mainstream kids. Like, oh, it's vampires. Oh, no, now it's zombies. I've been interested in zombies since I was 4.
I liked vampires when I was a kid too.
Me too.
I don't like them ever since the stupid Twilight.
I know, me too. But I'm saying, I've been into zombies since I was 4.
They're sparkly.
But yeah, I was a morbid 4-year-old. But yeah, zombies is just like, you know, I've been into it forever. And Netflix gave me a fucking lot of zombie movies to watch. And I watched them over the weekend, a majority of them. And the one thing I learned is that if you want to survive anything with zombie related, you either at the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, you better be in a bomb shelter or in a fucking basement.
Right.
And then second of all, your group better not consist of more than 4 people.
Why not?
Because more than 4 people is too much. Okay. If you think about it, military-wise, there's always the guy that leads the line. There's the 2 people in the middle.
Right.
And there's the back guy and watching everybody else.
What about your pawns, or as Star Trek fans know them, red shirts?
Yeah, if you think about it,
people to kill off.
If you think about it, those would be your middle guys.
Okay.
Because the bad guy, the front guy is the guy watching the whole group. He's the strongest guy, and the bad guy is the second strongest because he's watching the
shield. You gotta have like 30 guys, and you know what you do with it though is you have to play it right. You don't have 30 guys from the very get-go. It's just every episode or every time you need somebody to die, they just suddenly appear.
And then if you think about it though, because I did watch a different zombie one where they had a civil, like they moved to an island and there was still zombies there and whatnot. But their group was like 20 people, and by the end of the movie, they were down to like 5, because then they started killing each other. Well, the leader of the group started killing off from the weakest to the strongest, and they started going cannibalistic and shit, you know?
Of course.
So
that's what I would do. Just start eating people.
Note to self: don't join Tim's group.
Nobody will know anyway. Just moan a little bit, and everyone will think you're a zombie too.
Well, motherfucker, I'm religious, so I'm not gonna eat you or anybody else in the group, Tim.
Hey, certain religions do believe in eating people.
I'm Catholic.
I'm sure that there's a point in time when a Catholic ate somebody.
But yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know. I've been at that, and I've also been having the weirdest dreams. Because lately, well, ever since last night though, my insomnia has gotten on break. Okay. Thank God. Because like if you listen to last week's show, I was up actually for like 30+ hours.
That's pretty awesome. How come we didn't do electric shock therapy to keep you awake?
I don't know, man. I was just up. I think the beer kept me up last week. But it kept me up, but fuck. I want to sleep after watching all these movies, and I slept for a good 10 hours. Not 8, 10. Those are good hours of sleep. Okay. Because I have insomnia and whatnot. And I could have been living off of naps, not sleep, but naps. And
oh, you still take naps.
I know, power naps. But anyway,
Dude, it's a nap. I don't care what word you throw.
Shut up, Tim. Power means something different. Anyway, but yeah, I watched these movies and I dreamt, but for 10 fucking hours, man. They were different dreams, but they were all involved zombies. Or some kind of like...
Were the zombies sleeping with you?
I hope not. But yeah, man, I was just like, fuck. 10 hours of zombies in my dreams.
Do zombies
And if you
sleep?
think about it, 10 hours of zombies in your sleep could equal up to 10 fucking years.
I suppose, yeah.
Because, I've had those dreams where it's just like, it seems like a full year going on. You dream a full year, but when you wake up, and I was like, oh man, that was only 2 fucking hours. I'm going back to sleep. And then you resume the same dream.
Or have you ever had one where you just have the same dream again?
Oh yeah, I hate those. Especially if it's a nightmare. Those are the worst sometimes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, December 21st, man. If nothing happens, there's all this astronomy stuff that doesn't happen. But I'll bore you with that with my random.
Maybe wormwood will fall to Earth and poison a third of the Earth's water.
I'm not trying to get religious here, but
what happened to the Catholic stuff? All of a sudden,
I
said, and suddenly you're not Catholic. I see how it is.
That's not supposed to. Like I said, I still believe in science, and I'm an astronomy nerd. And then there's this whole astronomy stuff that I'm not gonna bore you guys with. Maybe with my random podcast, I will. Oh yeah, I know that story. I've been told that since I was a fucking kid.
No.
I was like,
did I tell you the story I had with Wormwood that just made it more interesting?
all right, let me hear it.
Okay, so I was
We have some
interviewing Morgan from Marduk
Mhm.
right after the album Wormwood came out, and he told me a really interesting fact. Okay, so first off, for those who don't know, the story is that a star falls to Earth and poisons a third of the Earth's water, and that star is called Wormwood. Okay? Do you know what Wormwood translates to in Russian? This is what he told me. It's Chernobyl. That is just messed up, man, because for those of you who don't know, Chernobyl is the town that was ravaged by nuclear, well, what was it, a meltdown? A nuclear meltdown?
Yeah. No. Chernobyl was, speaking of, because this is an astronomy thing, not an asteroid, but it turned into a meteorite after, like the whole atmosphere thing. And then it came down, but it was like so big and so powerful, it blew up in the air.
Well, no, that's my point. Is Morgan told me that Chernobyl translates from Russian to English, and it means wormwood.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, like it exploded up in the air. It was in Russia, right? And
no, this was a nuclear. Chernobyl is a town in Russia.
Yeah, it was in Russia.
And
like I'm
their
saying,
power plant had a meltdown, and to this day, that town is uninhabited.
oh, you know what? I was thinking something else. Then
Apparently,
that's my nerdy ass. I'll think about it next week. I'll tell you about that next week. But the whole
He's lying.
I'm not lying. I know my astronomy shit, but I just confuse the names sometimes. But yeah, there's actually a movie about that.
Really?
Yep. But
Intriguing.
we'll get about that later on. But continue with the story though.
Well, that's all there was to it. It was just he told me this story, and I found it incredibly interesting because wormwood translates to Chernobyl. In the Bible, wormwood's a star that falls and poisons a third of the Earth's water. And in real life, Chernobyl, the translation of wormwood, killed a ton of people.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It's kind of like the whole story of them naming the ship the Titanic, and the Titans dared to challenge the gods or whatever, so it was punished. Just kind of makes you think,
Think about that, kids. Especially you atheist assholes. But anyway, I'm kidding. I love all humans the same. Atheist or Catholic or Christian or Jewish.
To bone them too.
I will fuck you in the ass. Females only though.
All children, he said. You heard him. He said children. He wants to bone children.
I'm kidding. Anyway, this week though, we actually have a new segment for Pyro Radio, and I didn't come up with it. Tim here did, and I actually really, really liked it.
Okay, so I'm sure most of you out there are familiar with the famous skit by Jeff Foxworthy, "You Might Be a Redneck," where he says something and then tells you if you do that something, you might be a redneck. Well, I'm putting a little bit of a spin on it, and this applies for both bands and people. Today, it's all bands, but it is, if you do this, you might not be a metal band or a metalhead. So, these are the three I came up with.
This week we have 3, but let me interrupt you for a second. This week we have 3, but next week, Tim was only going to come up with 1 a week. We want the best 2 from our listeners to email us at pyroradio54@gmail.com or pyroradiomike@gmail.com and send us your best. You're not a metalhead.
Might not be a metalhead, if.
And then you finish the sentence.
Well, actually, it's reverse, but here, I'll do my 3 here.
This is Tim's example, and then you can follow the example and then email us.
Like I say, you can do either a
we will air the
metalhead
best
or a metal band.
Metal band. We'll air the best 2 every week.
All
right, but Tim, go on ahead and show me the example.
All right. If your band draws more than 0 juggalos, you might not be a metalhead. If you have a DJ on stage with you, you might not be a metal band. If you say things like, "Boy, that's fly," or other rapper talk, you might not be a metal band.
You might be considered a swag fag.
Yeah, something like that.
But that is Tim's segment of
You might not be a metalhead.
So if you have a good one, put it on Facebook or email us and let us know what it is. Mm-hmm. And the best 2 will be aired on the show every week.
And say who it's from, because we'll quote you.
And city as well. I have the hiccups.
like me to smash a beer bottle over your head?
I prefer not to.
Okay, the offer stands though.
Alright, I think I'm good. I hate those random ass hiccups. Alright, Craigslist Creeps. Alright, and now it's time for Craigslist Creeps after Tim's, you might not be a metalhead or band. But, like I said, like I always say every week, I don't know what. Actually, this week, we didn't even pick out Craigslist Creeps. We actually got sent by some fans what the Craigslist Creeps were, because you guys love it so much. We actually get some random ones throughout the week, but sometimes they're not good. But this week, there were these two good ones. There was a man for man and man for woman. And man for woman, right?
Mine's man for woman.
Yeah. And they were pretty good, so we decided why not go with just the fans, right?
Okay.
So instead of doing it ourselves, we decided to do it with fans. So thank you guys for doing our work for us. We're not going to mention your name because we want to take your credits. But how about you go first, Tim?
Alright, this one's a man for woman, and it's called World's Oldest Profession. Everybody knows what that is. Long shot, I know, just curious. I'm looking for a massage parlor worker from Lynn and Reverie, Massachusetts, around 2000-2004. She worked at massage parlors, and I would guess streets. I'm sure she went by many names. I think it was an M name. Mish, Misha, Michelle. Only knew her from acquaintances. Acquaintances, with finger quotes. Beautiful, light-skinned ebony woman. Was probably around 25 to 30 years old. So let's see, that means she's what now? About 30 to 35 now? Just hoping she's out of that line of work and has her life together. Because he wants to hook up with her. That's it for this one.
It's kind of weird. What kind of guy wants to get with a prostitute?
Well, he's hoping that she's an ex-prostitute, but still.
Regardless, she was still a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, mine is a man for man.
Uh-oh.
And it's called It's Okay to Watch Kids Movies. So, I got some stuff from you in a grocery store today. We talked about how it's okay to watch kids movies. I love to watch one with you, but you taste my dick, and I taste yours. You are so sexy. I don't even have the money to spend, but I did just to talk to you.
Very nice.
That's a man for man. And apparently it's okay to suck a guy's dick while you watch a kids movie. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch Lion King ever again.
The Lion King had all those sexual innuendos in it anyway.
It did, but after watching this, fuck, man. I don't even know if I can watch Finding Nemo. And Finding Nemo was innocent as it was already. But yeah. If you want to watch kids movies and taste somebody's penis,
You all have Mike's email.
you have my email, my friends. Kidding, it dickhead. But that is Craigslist Creeps for you guys. And it seems like we're at the end of our show this week. I know, so depressing. But it's okay, guys. We'll be back next week. And I hope you all enjoy the show. Did you enjoy the show this week, Tim?
I did. It was quite lovely.
But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the show, send us some emails, comment on the YouTube page, or on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Pyro Radio. Same thing for YouTube, youtube.com/Pyro Radio Pod. So,
by the way, you guys feel free to send me some emails too if you ever want.
well, my emails are your emails, Tim, since you are now our official co-host here.
Oh, okay.
Since I have to give you the password later. That's to remember. But yeah, thank you guys for
messages out.
If you guys get any dirty messages, that's Tim.
Probably.
Just
But
imagine
no,
them in that southern voice of Tim's.
Yeah, my southern gay person's voice.
But again, thank you guys for listening in. We really appreciate it. We love you as much as you love us, or we hate you as much as you hate us.
Mike especially loves you if you're a little boy.
Oh yes, I love the tiny buttocks.
Ooh.
I hate you you, Tim.
Hey, you started it, man.
I hate you, Tim. But yeah, thank you again for listening to us, and hopefully if you're at the Exit Chicago later on this night, we get to see you and take some pictures with you.
If you're a hot girl, you can give me your number.
Or you can just come to me instead.
Yeah, who wants you?
We'll talk about this after the show. But anyway.
That just sounded incredibly creepy.
That's the point.
We'll talk about
We
this
did
after
just
the
finish
show.
Craigslist Creeps. But again, I can't thank you guys enough for listening into the show. We really appreciate it. And go check out Pyro Radio on Facebook. So Facebook.com/Pyro Radio. And then go check out the Offering magazine on Facebook as well. And then, just like both of the pages and check out my article later this week, which I'll be pasting out the Pyro Radio Facebook.
Right. What he said.
Exactly. But like I said, we love you. I can't express how much we love you guys for tuning in. But I'm here with
Tim Anders.
And I'm Mike Lopez we're both from
The Offering.
and Pyro Radio. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ow.